Hey guys, welcome to Cosplay Life. I'm Air Bear and today I'm going to take you on a tour of my cosplay room. So before we begin this tour, I just wanted to say that it took me a long time to get to this point. I had to try different things, see that didn't work, and eventually I got to a room that I feel I can be pretty successful in as far as after Dragon Con or when I get new supplies coming in, that I have some place to put everything. There are some things currently that do need to be upgraded or need to be expanded, but for the most part, this room functions very well. And when I started, I thought about what are the main things that I do in this room, and there are two main things, and it's sewing and making costumes. And a lot of times those go hand in hand. Half of the storage is about cosplay, and then the other half of the storage is for just clothing making or sewing in general. So I'm going to go ahead and take you around the room. I'll start at the door and then work our way around, all the way around. There's some things that are not going to be in here. For example, my makeup is not in here. I store that in the living room out there. I have two different locations and it's not really set up very well. That's still a system that I'm working on. My actual costumes that are complete are not in this room. They used to be kept in the closet that's behind where you are now, but I took those and we packaged them and put them into storage, and I can show that in another video, the way that we packed those up. But that's in our storage unit. So thankfully I have a storage unit. Thankfully I have this room, because I know that this is not normal. Because we live in a loft, the room is very large, so I have a lot of space. But that's not typical. I am just going to go ahead and take you around so you can see what I did. I just want to drop in to say that a lot of times when people give tours, I feel like their rooms are very neat and very clean. So I did not do that. I just left it as is. I cleaned up a little bit because there's like a project all over the table. So I cleaned up so you could see what was in here, but I didn't super clean it. So there may be dust in places, or there may be things that are not in their correct place. But I wanted you to see the room as it actually is, not when it's not actually being used. So now let's begin the tour. So we are going to start over here right by the door. And I'm just going to point out things. So these are clipboards that I have nailed to the wall, and I just use those to hold things like templates that I might currently be using. My face mask templates go up there. And then I have this basket here and it holds towels. Because there's a lot of spills that happen in here, and I don't like to use a lot of paper towels, so I try to use towels so I can, I guess, be more conscientious is the word. So those are my towels. This is something that I might use later on to try to cover up some of the fabric. It's a shower curtain. I wanted to cover some of the fabric, not over here, but you'll see it later on. Because it's right in the sunlight and I'm worried about it being sun bleached. So up here I have a paper cutter, which I need to get rid of because I don't do paper cutting that much and I don't need it in this room. I also have a computer. It's old and it's broken, so that's why I haven't put my stickers or my decals on it. So that's my computer, but what I wanted was to be able to have a computer in here so that I could do research in here, or like if I wanted to watch a video or play music, I could do that from this room as well. So down here we have Rena Rouge's flute, because there's no place to store it other than just putting in storage, which just hasn't happened yet. So I have 3 of these shelves. These shelves came from a mixture of Target and Home Depot. And then if I can find it, I'll put a link, but it's pretty easy to find. It's just a 3x3 shelves, storage units, and they have like little cubes that can fit in there too. So I have 3 of these, And again, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I didn't purchase all of this stuff at one time. I purchased it over time. So I started off with one shelf, and then I bought 2 more, and then I moved some from different rooms. That's how I got to this point, is not doing like all of this purchasing all at once. But also knowing that I do need to invest in myself. And if I want to be able to make better things, I need to have better stuff and a better way of accessing it. So anyway, I have 3 of these. This one is the neutral colored one, as well as just like extra materials. So all the brown fabrics are over here. And I think I showed this before. I have them wrapped on, these are magazine boards that you can order from Amazon. So I have them wrapped on that. These are my whites with like a little bit of color, white, and this also kind of helps me see how much fabric I have so that I know like, oh, snap, you have a bunch of this. Let's try to make something with that. These are some more fabrics, and a lot of these fabrics I got from my mother. Some of them are just scrap fabrics, but a lot of them are from mommy because she had a lot of fabrics and she gave those to me, thankfully. Down here, I have felt. And here I have tulle, and over here is muslin, or muslin? I think it's muslin. Some, what are these called? Interfacings and stabilizers and things like that. Pattern paper, thermal sort of fabric. So that's the first shelf. And then if we move over from there, this is where we keep like wood and boards and things like that, just kind of wedged in there. And then I have this plug here because the plug is actually behind this shelf. I want to still be able to access it. This corner is a bit of a mess. I want to work on it, but I haven't figured out a solution yet. So this is just what it is for now. This is where I store PVC pipes and other longer materials, wires, papers, this bamboo stick for propping up my plants. I also have a mannequin up here, and I try to use the mannequins to store either wigs I'm currently working on or hats. This hat can't be easily stored, but that's the hat from Ringleader. This is the hat from the Ringleader. I also have artwork that I made. In this corner is all of my bigger rolls of foam. This is a bit of a nightmare. I need to work on this. I would like to get like a big, oh, that's just falling off the rack. I would like to get like a big square rectangle or trash can thing that can fit in here and I can just shove them in there, but that hasn't happened yet. This is the first shelf that I got. It's on wheels. It was important to me to have it on wheels because one, we have wooden floors, so that means that we can move it easily, is why it's important is we're on wooden floors. But also twice a year, we move everything away from the walls and we have people, or we have our exterminator come in and he'll spray around the perimeter of the room because we live in an older building and we have pests. So that's part of the drawback of having these huge windows and walls and stuff, is that you also have pests because you live in an older building. So anyway, up here I have all of my aprons. I have different aprons for different things. Like I have a dremeling apron. It has lint on it. Actually, this one might be the dremeling apron because it's so silky and it can just like dust the stuff off of it. Mostly I need aprons for dremeling, but also sometimes you just need to cover up what you're working on or like what you're wearing. I guess I'll go from the top and work my way down. So that box is weapons, like guns and lightsabers and things like that. This crate came from, sorry, I'm out of view. This crate came from Target, and the weapons we got from Goodwill and just different stores. So that's that box. This one is belts. So those are belts from like actual cosplays that we are no longer using. And they're also just like actual belts that we took apart. Up top is the Mad Hatter's hat. And yeah, that was pretty much the only place I could put that. These are accessories. There's a sword that is not where it belongs, but those are just random accessories that might be necessary for multiple costumes. There also, I have armor in there from Batwoman. I didn't really like the rest of the Batwoman cosplay, but I did really like the armor, so I just saved it in that box. I really couldn't think of anything else to do with it. But like if I have costumes that is too small to go into its own box, or pieces of it can work for multiple costumes, like gloves and stuff. That will go into the accessories box. All right, next shelf down is my wood style box that has wooden items. So it has, what are those things called? Clothespins, popsicle sticks. Those are like little wood things, just different wood things. These are cutters down here. They're paper cutters. One of my other hobbies, I have a lot of them, is making cards and stuff. So I like with paper, things like that. I took that out of this room, but this is still here because there's no other place to store it. This is a foam cutter. I have not used it yet, so I cannot speak to whether or not it is good or not. Back here are shells. I don't know why it's in a different container than everything else. This is greenery, so it has like leaves, moss, and I think something to make things look like you have moss attached to things. And I also have flowers from one of my first cosplays. Up here is cutting tools, so that is my blades and things to sharpen the blades. Down below are colored pencils. I really like the Primzacolor color pencils, not that I've tried that many. These are pom-poms. Yes, I have that many. That was from a different project, so now I just have a bunch of pom-poms. Same with the pipe cleaners. That was from a specific project, so now I have a bunch of pipe cleaners. Markers, and I store one of the paint. Ooh, it's dirty. I store one of the paint thingies up there. Like I use that when I'm painting. Markers, let's see, paint. Up here is a container that holds paint brushes. I haven't used it yet. This is just other coloring things like oil pastels, chalk, watercolor. No, actually watercolor should be up there, but other coloring items. So all of that is actually not related to cosplay, or a lot of that is not related to cosplay, it's related to just crafts. So if we go to the next shelf down, this is 2mm craft foam. I also have a sword in there because it just fit. These boxes, all the boxes with the white lids and the gray lids, actually most of the boxes except for that one came from Mommy, but the rest of the boxes all came from Target. This is my 2mm craft foam. This is miscellaneous foam, so it's foam scraps, and then there's a type of craft foam that I can't easily find in the store anymore, so that goes in there. I think it's like 3mm craft foam fits in there, and then also my foam clay is in there as well. This should probably go in there, but I would have to bend it in order to fit it, and this was on sale, so I just bought it. 5mm thick, and I guess thicker because that's clearly not 5mm. 5mm thick craft foam and 5mm thick scraps. The only thing I don't like about this is I would love to be able to just open it and slide things in, slide things out, but that's not available to me. So yeah, this just couldn't fit into the box, but it's freezer paper, which I have not figured out what to use it for. A lot of this, it was just one project, and we had a lot left over, so it comes to the cosplay room. These are my found items, so like anytime I come across something, it's like, ooh, that would be good for something. I don't know what, but it would be good for something. I put it into this box. I also have foil in here. That was something I was trying to do for Hades, trying to put some hot glue on foil and see if I could peel it up to make the crown. It did not work. But that was all foil that we just dropped. Like we were pulling out foil and it fell, and I was like, well, that's going to the cosplay closet. I think I explained that last time. This is the next shelf down. The shelves aren't organized by any sort of way or anything. This is my hair box. So it has things for making wigs, which I don't make wigs. It has wigs, wig caps. It has things for styling wigs. I also... Oops. I don't know if I showed this before. I got this while I was at Dragon Con. It is from Arda. I believe it's Arda. And it's a ring of the colors of their wigs. so that I know what I'm getting before I purchase it. I still haven't used it. I just got it at Dragon Con. I haven't purchased any wigs since then. But like while I was purchasing wigs, I was like, I really want to know what color that is. So hopefully that will come in handy. It wasn't too expensive. This is not where it belongs. This was what I bought during Dragon Con in order to do Hades, or before Dragon Con in order to do Hades. I only needed that color, but I really wanted it. And I figured I could use the rest for something else. So now they're just up there because they do not fit in the container they're supposed to go in. This is hair coloring sort of thing. So sprays, waxes, things that I can use to color my hair. Down below it are headbands that we can use to make ears and things like that. Over here are gloves. All of my labels are coming off. The labels did not come from Target. They came from the Dollar Tree, and it shows. Those are gloves. These are styrofoam items. This is all my Dremel materials. So it has a Dremel, most of the Dremel materials. There's some things that are not in there. I am wondering about that weird golden thing in there. Anyway, Dremel accessories and protection, face mask and goggles are in there. We're gonna go down one more shelf. Okay, this is miscellaneous. I hate having miscellaneous drawers and miscellaneous tubs because those are usually the junkiest, but that's what this is. And it just has just random items that don't fit in with anywhere else, even though this should probably go in the greenery box, but whatever. These are lights. We got really excited one day and bought stuff to like do crazy light designs, but we never figured out how to use it. So now we just have a bunch of stuff for making crazy high-tech lights. Haven't used it. A friend gave this to me. These are newspapers. I save newspapers so that I can use them if I want to do paper mache. Or if I need it for like a template or something like that. This is a dress up box. This just has random stuff in it that's fun. Like masks, cowbells, fans, pom-poms, just different things. Like if there's a dress up day at school, I can come to this box, pull some stuff out, ready to go. Down below, let's see. Up here are screws. We got this from Home Depot. I don't know if you're interested in this, but we were having like issues with so many screws because we would get like a couple of screws in order to fix something, and then we would end up with a bunch. Like you only need like 6 screws, but then 24 come in a pack, so you have a lot of them. So we got this thing. I see now that some of the screws are not staying in their container. Anyway, screws. These are tools. This is mostly his sort of thing. Yeah, that's all him. I don't do tools that much, other than the Dremel. This is the drill, which it doesn't fit into the toolbox. It's actually a toolbox. We had a toolbox, but the clasp it wasn't great. So we got this, an actual toolbox. This is where we keep all of our tape. So duct tapes, electrical tape, floral tape, masking tape, gaff tape, all the tapes are in here. Notebooks. Yeah, there's a canvas up here, which should have been with the notebooks, but I think it couldn't fit into this container. I need to replace that container. I didn't. And then these are gems and jewels. I think I explained last time that I save jewelry and things from jewelry. Like I got jewelry from my mother, and I take those apart and I make things, such as a lot of the things that were on Hades. And then these are some pieces of foam. They can't fit anywhere else. It's that foam that you use to make cushions and things. That is under here. And then that is this shelf. This might be a long video. All right, so next to the shelf, I have I don't even know if there's any point in going over this. I bought this thing because I saw other people using it. I couldn't figure out how to use it. So there it is. That's actually what that golden thing that was in the Dremel box, it came out of here. This is a wig dryer. I don't know if I'm that impressed with it, but you can wash a wig and put it on there and hang it to dry. I don't know if it was dripping something onto my wig, but I would find like black marks on my wig, which I was not happy with. but it doesn't seem like it came from this. I don't know if it came from something else, being that, you know, we're in the room that we're in. Who knows where something came from. This is my ironing board. It doesn't usually stay there. It usually stays right here, but I want to be able to show you everything. So there it sits. This is our iron. I do not recommend it. It has been leaking since, not the day that we bought it, but it's been leaking for a while. Back here is a caddy that I use to hold measuring tape, measuring items, and writing utensils. Back here, over here are my flowers. Let's see. Oh, there's my party box. I forgot about that. That's a party box. It just holds decorations for birthdays and stuff. This is a mirror. Hello. So that I can see what I have. Full length, it's big, and there are paper cranes around it. That's more artwork. Yeah. And this is a basket that I want to get rid of. It has projects that I did start but haven't finished and not currently working on. This is where I keep my projects I am currently working on. I forgot to turn this on. All right, so this is a shelf there where I keep projects that I'm currently working on. I need to get a bigger one because apparently I work on more than 6 projects at a time. I don't think I guess there is stuff in here. This is old projects. This is something that I've been working on for a while. I'm not gonna say what it is just in case I want to surprise people with it. This is Zuko. I was gonna redo Zuko and I haven't. I really like the armor, I just don't like it for Zuko. Oh, up here are like clothing that I'm making. This is Rena Rouge that I just haven't cleaned out yet. This is gift wrap, or not gift wrap because I don't wrap anything. This is gift bags and paper, tissue paper. The windowsill, I keep rocks. I like rocks, I collect rocks, but I use rocks to as pattern weights or fabric weights. I change out my candles monthly. I also like candles. And another mannequin head that I colored in really creepily a while ago. This is a caddy that I painted gold. I got that a while ago. But I keep other sewing materials and glasses cleaners and soap in it. Soap is for marking your fabric. I also keep just different sewing items in there. And moving over to the sewing desk, I think I showed you, I really should have watched the last video before I showed this to you, or before I started this one. But this is the, oh, I completely forgot to start. I got distracted with the plants. Hold on, we gotta go back. All right, so we are back at the serging table. This is a sewing table my mother purchased for me for Christmas last year. I think it was last year, or the year before that, I don't know. I have an awesome mother. This is a serger. I love it. I don't know how to do anything other than just the basic. I know how to lengthen the stitches a little bit and I know how to rethread it, but that's about it. So this is the serger. Now back to the sewing table. So this is an old sewing table that I believe was my mother's. I don't think I got it from Goodwill. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was my mother's. And this originally like folded up and down, but Lovebug took the latch off of it and he created some wood to kind of make it permanently stay up. And he also changed the height of the drop down. Actually, he added a drop down into it because it wouldn't drop down, but I wanted it to be even. And I think he might have also lowered it because it was the wrong height. But yeah, this is my sewing machine. It has probably changed since the last time I showed you one. These are other things I keep on my sewing table. These are the accessories for this sewing machine. This is like a bobbin caddy, which I really shouldn't use because it just helps me be lazy. But I put bobbins for things that I think I'm currently working on, but I'm not actually working on. This holds needles. And yeah. Accessories. Those are bigger rocks for holding down patterns and fabrics, like when they're slipping off of my table. Oh yeah, I gotta show you the table. This is a portable thing for carrying the sewing machine. I haven't carried it in there yet. But if I ever do need to take the sewing machine somewhere, it's got me covered. This is a Cricut that a friend at school gave me. I haven't used it yet. I don't know what I'm doing with it. This is where I throw away my stuff. I really didn't need to show you that. This is a mannequin. I have 3 mannequins total. One of them sits not in this room. This is the nice mannequin. This mannequin, they said that like, they did like a 3D rendering of me and they took my measurements and they said that it's supposed to be my size, but you know, I've lost and I've gained weight, so some parts of it fit. And I don't think this was ever actually like my size, especially in here. Cause like, she's like, anyway, that is the mannequin. It has a removable leg. It has removable shoulders, and I can replace it with an arm if I want to. It's very heavy. My mother got that for me. Again, I have an awesome mother. She got me most of this room. Let's just put it that way. All right, this is a dresser that we got from a friend that was moving. At the top of it is all my plaid paints. These are all my paint brushes up here. In this bin next to it, I keep my staffs. Top drawer, I keep fluffy fabrics, so furs, and this was like a shearling sort of fur. It just didn't fit anywhere else. Oh, this is the same drawer. Okay, this drawer I keep paints. Over here are the FX paints. Over here are just paints. I store them upside down so that 1, they're ready to go, 2, I can see the color. I store paint palettes on top of it, paint palettes I don't clean. Paint palettes I don't clean on time. And then these are different types of paints. Puffy paints and model paint, I think this is. Why can I not find the front? That's weird. Well, anyway. That's that paint. Shoe polish is in there as well, for weathering. These are glues. This drawer needs some help. These are Mod Podges, different types of Mod Podges. If I were to recommend Mod Podge, actually, you know what, that's probably going to be in another video, so I won't tell you what I recommend. Watch that video. Hot glue guns. We have fabric hot glue. Oh my gosh, this used to be more organized. Like, there's actual baskets in here that everything is just laying on top of. But these off-color hot glues are fabric hot glues. There's a hot glue gun in here. We have a lot of hot glue guns because they go out. This is contact cement. These are glue rollers and glue brushes. These are applicators to pour contact cement into so that they're easier to use. This is a gripper that I keep in here so that I can easily unscrew things once they get glued shut. Oh, look at this thing. Keeps your fingertips from getting hot glued. Oh, E6000. All types of glue are in here. Ugh. The drawer has seen better days. All right, below that, I don't even use this in much anymore, but this is like drop cloths and things for when we're painting. And then the one below it has power tools, and it is stuck. So the bottom drawer is power tools. Sander, which I don't use. Drill, which I don't use. So I could probably get rid of that. This is a hot knife or a soldering iron. Soldering iron. Heat gun. Heat gun I use a lot. And that is the drawer. A Warbler hiding out over here. I still don't use Warbler. That's padding to make your mannequin fit you. I haven't used it. There's a lot of things in here I haven't used, like aspirations. These are cutting boards behind the mannequin. Before we move over here, I'm going to do the center of the room first. So I have 2 stools that I just got from a different table. This is a cutting mat that's on top of it. Okay, so this table was originally a folding table. Like, it had 2 leaves that folded down and it would shake. It could roll around. And I decided I don't need a table that can move around and roll out of the way. I need a table that's always here. So we got these shelves and the tabletop is not actually attached to it. He screwed some pieces of wood to it to keep it from folding down. And then it's just sitting on top of these shelves so that we can easily take it apart when we're ready to move. But yeah, I just have 2 of those bookshelves. And like I said before, I separated them by color. This is the one that is facing the sun that I want to get the cover for. But these are all my warm colored fabric. I also keep paper down here. And I keep my magazine boards right here. And I have extra paper from Amazon that I can use. I put extra paper from Amazon that I can use for making patterns. I don't know why I'm talking so loud. Okay, and then on the other side, this is Hades, still just in the way, as usual. Okay, these are all my cool colored fabrics. And then I'll show you, when he made the table, he made it so that I could sit, like I told him where I wanted to sit. And I wanted to sit on this side and be able to sit in the middle. So he moved, or he made it so that I could sit over here and I could sit on the middle on either side. Now, let's go to the sewing shelf. The previous shelf, or the other shelf, was the cosplay and craft shelf. This is the sewing shelf. It's also on wheels, and we'll start up at the top. I don't know what's in that one. This one is stuffing. A lot of the stuff isn't, well, yeah, quite a few of them are not labeled. This is stuffing that's stuffed into that box. This is fur. Down on the next one, this is yarn, and it's not just yarn. It's, I forget what that's called, twine and different things. It also has knitting needles and things that you use with yarn. These just landed here. Bless you. They don't always stay. So this is elastic Velcro trim. And it took me a lot to figure out what's the difference between trim, tape, and ribbon. Answer is there's not really a difference. But tape and rickracs are in here, and bias tape is in here. And then trim is up there and ribbon's over here. And I just kind of arbitrarily figured out what trim and ribbon are. And I basically just go through each of them. And I look to see what it's labeled as. All right, I think I just stepped on a needle, but we'll see. All of these came from Target, except for the ones with the purple top, which came from Mommy years ago. They're years old. All right, so clips are in here. I think I showed you this last time. I really like using these. These are great for when you have fabrics like spandex and metallic spandex, performance knits and things like that, because they will not leave puncture holes, or if you have leather. They're also good for furs as well, and really thick fabrics. Or if you want to try something on and you don't want to puncture yourself with a needle. All my clips are in there. Below it are marking tools. A lot of that came from Mommy, which was the reason why I needed to organize it in the first place. But it's like tracing paper, marking paper, and chalk and different things. My soap is not in there. My soap I keep out. These are needles. So this is sewing needles, like pin cushion needles, and I also keep my thread that I use for hand sewing. My clear thread and my buttonhole thread in here as well, and my pin cushions that I wear around my waist. Not waist, that'll be dumb. That I wear around my wrist. All right, sewing machine. These are my sewing machine feet in there. Thankfully, when I bought the new, that was one thing I wanted to make sure is that when I bought the new sewing machine, the sewing machine feet that I previously had would fit on the new sewing machine, and they do. And I have needles, sewing machine needles in here, and just different accessories that I can attach to the sewing machine. I have not used everything in that box. A lot of things either Mommy got me just to kind of like, see if I could use it, or it was something that she had and she gave to me. So yeah, buttons are up here. Cutting things, so scissors and the rotary pizza cutter thing is in there, and the thing for sharpening it. I bought this, I've used it. I don't know if I like it yet. This is not marked, but it's bobbins and bobbin holders. So bobbin holders. Basically, it's all bobbin holders. That's such a colorful box. It makes me so happy. Beneath it are turners. This little metallic thing is used for turning, and then you can poke these wooden things inside stuff for turning. Okay, and then thread is over here. This is mislabeled. I labeled this when I was like, I don't know, maybe like 16. I was trying to label mommy's fabric, and then she ended up giving it to me. So I just keep this because it reminds me of doing that. But it's mislabeled. It's actually scraps. And these are larger scraps. And I don't really have enough room. I need to start doing something with the scraps. I don't like throwing things away. I feel like there's something I can use with the scraps or do with the scraps. So saving them for when that inspiration strikes me. I also have boning back there. I hate boning with a passion. The boning is back there. Snaps and grommets, these are closures. Yep, zippers. Okay, now this shelf right here, this is the shelf. So, this binder, I think I showed you in a live stream, is where I keep all my patterns. I hope I don't make you sick, sorry. And I took this from how the website was organized, but like this kind of helps me figure out where things are inside this book. But we have all of our patterns in here, or the envelopes are in here. And then I took the numbers on the envelopes, let's see, and I organized it. I think it's organized the same way that the pattern books are organized in the store. So yeah, costumes are in the back, even though they should be up front. But you know, society. This box holds patterns that either I made, like they're cosplay patterns, like eye mask and different things like a trident pattern or a bident pattern. Those are all in there, like specific cosplay patterns that I created. I also keep the materials for keeping the system organized. So the envelopes and the sheet protectors for the binder are in here. This is all of my Philippe McCall patterns. So let me show you. Okay, so all the McCall patterns are in here. So let's say that I wanted, like I looked at, let me just actually do it. Okay, all right, so let's say I wanted to find this pattern. So I would look at the number M8175, and I would come over here and they are all organized by number. So M8175 is right there. And then that holds all of the pattern pieces and the directions and all of that inside the envelope for that pattern. The only thing about it is that I have to still pull this so that I can get the measurements and things like that. But it's a better way of storing them. So these are all the McCall patterns. And then, yeah, all the Simplicity are in that dark blue one. And we're gonna go to the bottom shelf. I believe this is about the end of the tour. So, hooray, we're almost done. This is my ironing box. It contains the steamer and the sleeve iron thingy, which I saw online. Someone made a different one that's better for ironing round things. There's cheesecloth in here for covering the things that you're ironing. All of that's in that box. Okay, so this whole thing right here is for making cards and stuff. Like if I find cool paper or plastic or stuff for cards. Over here are dies. So up. Okay, underneath, I haven't used this. I was super excited about it, but I haven't used it. Super structure foam. Almost done. This is a recycling bin. It's basically trash. I have measuring tape on all over the room so that if I need to measure myself real quick or measure something, I always have it nearby. This shoe organizer used to hold spray paints, but now it holds my cosplay shoes, or shoes that I would like to rip apart to try the cosplay in. So, shoes. These are bags for making patterns. Also bags like if I need to take something someplace, things like that. Go behind the door. This is my LED hula hoop. These are tools on a pegboard that we nailed to the wall. All my measuring items are over here. Cutting, it's not really organized by anything. It's just like whatever container I had to hold them. And these are my paint sticks, which I actually ended up using this year. I'm still trying to figure out how to Dremel something that is like in a V or in a valley. And I tried these. It helped a little bit, but did not completely solve the problem. So I'm still working on it. And a filter for the air conditioning unit. And the vacuum cleaner. We had to get a new vacuum cleaner because the old one, I'm fairly sure it died because of all the foam that was in it. So hopefully this one holds up better. Another gift from my mom. All right, that's it. So that about does it for this video. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below. Make sure you check out the description box for links to certain things I mentioned in the video. If you have any questions, leave those in the comment section as well. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you like this channel, make sure you hit subscribe and click on the notification bell so you can get notifications when I release new videos or when I am streaming. Other than that, I will catch you all next time. Deuces!